Welcome to a next episode of our AI Unscripted series. In fact, it's our first episode of our second series, and the second series will be, or the second season, will be focusing on the business aspects of AI. Last year, we focused mainly on why is AI important, what sectors is it impacting. This year, we're going to go a bit deeper. We're going to talk with a number of CEOs to see how they are looking at AI and how it impacts their business. But before we go into those, we're going to talk about how it really affects someone who is starting his career, and we're going to talk with what we call a junior cloud, data and AI expert. We're going to talk with Oscar Monville, a colleague of PwC, and it's going to be interesting. So maybe let's dive into the topic, Oscar. Let's introduce yourself a bit.
Thank you for having me, Patrick. I joined PwC a few months ago. It's my first real job, you could say.
Yep.
I graduated in August, in this summer, from the University of Namur, from a business engineering degree in digital business. And so, you could say that AI has been also through my my academic work quite important. So
you were already confronted with AI before you started?
I was already confronted with AI since at least ChatGPT was released. I think most of us at the university, we were experimenting with it. Even though I was a bit scared at the beginning with plagiarism, I didn't want all AI to do my work. But then I got curious. I wanted to explore, and I was of course really wowed, amazed by the potential it had. And so afterwards, it was more about being curious, continuing exploring it.
Yep.
How could we use it in our academic work? How could we use it at university to make our work not easier but better, higher quality? So.
And were you stimulated to use AI, or is it's a nice to have? Do whatever you want, but don't do it too deeply, too much. How was it?
It was really about using AI in the right way. So, of course, we're there at university to learn. So we cannot have AI do everything. Otherwise, what's our value?
Yep.
So we really had to work on what's the type of questions we want to ask AI, what's the type of task we can use AI for.
Yep.
Then also experiment on what AI cannot be good at. And then through even 2.5 years, we saw the improvements were really, really fast. And so things we couldn't do 2.5 years ago, we can do now and really well. And we're almost being overconfident by the output that AI is generating. Yeah.
So it's embedded in the courses that you got?
It was not directly embedded in the courses I had, but the teachers really were passionate about AI. So they were also talking about it. My classmates and myself, we were also passionate about it. So the conversation was there, and it was more about experimenting and being critical and alert of the information that it had. As being also knowledge workers or future knowledge workers, we're going to be at the forefront of it. So it's important to know how it works and its downfalls.
Because sometimes we're a bit critical about our educational system, saying, is it going fast enough in terms of innovation, in terms of new skills like AI? You're a bit less critical?
Oh yeah, for my case, I'm a bit less critical, but that's also maybe credit to my professors that were really.
And also the domain that you are studying.
Of course.
It's not the mainstream tax or legal or whatever courses you can have, where maybe AI is a bit further from. Yeah,
we were in digital business already, it's the forefront of it. So
Okay, so then you started at PwC. Why did you choose for PwC?
Really for the growth opportunities, and already taking a chance on us. Not a lot of companies are willing to take a chance on up and coming new workers, and PwC was willing to take a chance on me, and I wanted to come here. It was my first choice. So really about the opportunity to grow, the opportunity to be surrounded by high quality people, and that also stimulates me to be a better human every day. So
okay, nice marketing. But of course, I'm sure that many people that are listening in and firms that are listening in are also investing in people. So I think, it is what it is, but I think we're not doing that bad. So, but focusing on the topic of AI. So, in a typical day, when you start, where do you then use AI in your job?
Yeah, in my job, it really, at least currently, I know it's going to evolve really, really fast, and it's part of our culture that we want to try and explore where AI is going to be involved in the work, in our workday. But currently, it's really about rephrasing, idea generation, brainstorming, translation. I use a lot as well, and these tools are they really enhance my knowledge, they enhance my output and my efficiency, and so. This is mainly my work-related task I do with it. I also use it a lot. Maybe before asking a question to a colleague, I might challenge myself with the generative AI.
Yeah.
So maybe I have a different point of view on what I currently have. And then I can go to my colleagues and try and stimulate a nice conversation and nice arguments.
And you're using open source tooling or bespoke tools that have been developed for us?
Yeah, I'm using bespoke PwC tools and custom for PwC, which is also good for me because I know the information is secure. But then I still have to be critical of the output, but I can be a bit more free in the input I put without worrying too much.
Yeah, in the first series of the first season, or at least, we talked in a number of instances on the question, what are we now really talking about when we talk about AI? Are we talking about trying to be more efficient? Are we trying to do new stuff? That's a bit of a balancing act, of course. In reality, it's often efficiency that we are achieving, although it's not that easy to already see the savings. So how is that balancing act in your mind? Is it efficiency only?
In my mind, it's really interesting because of course, I'm able to produce my work in an efficient manner, produce higher quality output. But as someone that's up and coming and new joiner in a company, I also have a lot to learn, knowledge to grow, and maybe this efficiency is taking a place where I want to learn. So maybe can I still make mistakes even though we're pushed to be more efficient? How does the work environment enable me to still make mistakes, still grow, even though because of the AI tooling we have, they want higher quality output is expected. So that's maybe a question to you: is how can we still keep this knowledge and experiment mindset open to everyone in the company?
Yeah, that's a good question, because of course the fundamental aspect is how do you develop a learning and development organization. I think many people that are listening in will understand what I'm talking about, because of course in the old style you learn by seeing others doing stuff successfully or less successfully. Here it's becoming a bit more complicated because a number of mundane, routine tasks that were typically the starting point are now taken out of the system and done differently. But then, of course, the key question is, and I think it's a valid one and a valid point that you raise, is how critical are we still going to be, and how are we really going to make sure that whatever comes out of a system is just something that is coming out of a system and not the absolute truth, or not necessarily. How are you looking at that? Are you being stimulated to indeed say, okay, yes, you need to use what is coming out of AI, but don't count on it that it's always 100% correct, which is, of course, difficult if you haven't done it manually before. So it's a bit the chicken and the egg.
Exactly. And this dependency is really challenging because, before we used to be good at searching information. Now we need to be good at asking questions and being critical of the output.
Yeah.
But I depend a lot on generative AI for my work, and this is a bit scary. I'm not gonna lie. It may be if AI disappears tomorrow, or maybe I can be easily replaced as well. So I need to have value. I need to bring value as well to my work. And how do I do this? I do this by being human, by also growing my skills and forcing myself not to use every time generative AI, and to put in the effort to learn. It's maybe a bit more uncomfortable. It takes more time, but this is what I want to do so that I don't get too dependent on generative AI, at least now.
And in your personal life, are you also using AI, or are you basically saying, no, there I'm human, that's not the professional Oscar, I'm going to do it myself?
Yeah, very little. At least I'm using it.
Yeah.
Of course, it's human interactions. That's the main thing. But even at work, that's what drives me. But yeah, I might be using it unconsciously. Maybe more in my personal life. It's more toolings that have AI embedded in them that I'm using. Maybe to do my grocery shopping, or to do some brainstorming of creative ideas of how I can repair stuff in the house. Or it's more that, which I'm not conscious I'm using. It's more unconscious usage compared to work, where it's really conscious.
You're not writing love letters with AI.
No. I don't think that's the way to go.
Yeah, but maybe it can create inspiration, but I wouldn't do it either, I would say. So can you still imagine that you would basically be professionally active without AI? Because you've never encountered a professional environment without AI, which is, of course, you're the first batch of people that are joining the professional market, and AI is already there. So it's, of course, a difficult question. You only know what you know, but can you imagine that?
Yeah, that's really true. It's really hard for me to imagine, because I've never experienced it. It's a bit like, can we imagine a world without a browsing search? It's really hard to imagine going to a library and reading a book to find some information. So, yeah, I'm having a hard time imagining a work life without AI, without this dependency on idea creation and even reformulation tools. It's really basic, but I use it quite often.
And do you sense that there is indeed a difference between generations? Because a lot has been said about the different letters that you can put to generations. This, of course, is also valid for AI. Yeah? Do you sense that in your interactions with maybe people a bit more my age, that we are not following as we should?
This is maybe not against you, but it's more for us. We've always been in a digital world. We're digital natives. AI has been taught in my education as well. And so it's more, we've learned to work with AI when we've grown our knowledge, compared to maybe yourself, where you've learned to work in a certain way without AI, and now you need to adapt your work to be efficient in the AI world. And studies have proven, I read a study last week that was talking about this double-edged sword, that it's really hard for people that have already a habit to then change their habit in using generative AI in creative tasks, for instance. It changes and it takes more time for yourself to adapt compared to us who are natively efficient in it. So that's the main difference.
So we have a first mover disadvantage. That's basically what you're saying.
A disadvantage of experience.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, but it's for generative AI tasks, and in my opinion, I want your experience. So I want to be able to know how to confront a client, know how to have arguments, how to construct ideas, how to pitch. So these I need to grow, but a bit more advantages in the AI literacy, I believe. Yeah,
which of course focuses then on other skills than just AI-related skills that you also need. So you already mentioned a few, and that's really the human aspects of being a professional, I think. So,
100%.
How do you do that then?
100%. I don't trust AI. I'm maybe good at AI, but I don't trust AI.
Okay.
And it's a bit weird to say because I still use it, but I don't trust it. I'm always vigilant about the output that is generated by AI. I always try to be critical. And I've had encounters with clients that saying, oh yeah, AI said this, but it was totally wrong, or it was totally one-sided arguments. But what about the other side? And what I was telling them was, amazing that you actually think like this and that you try to get the other side of the arguments and that we're not polarizing our arguments. So it's really about being critical about the output and being able to evaluate the output. That's, I think, is really critical skill in today's workforce. Yeah.
And how often do you think of the more ethical aspects of AI when you are using it, or even the environmental aspects of AI? Does that impact the use or non-use of AI?
Yeah, it impacts it a lot in the sense that environmental concerns, I think, is a lot of what our generation is stimulated by. I walked in the streets in 2019, and I still am conscious about the environment right now. So maybe there's a few tasks that I'm not going to do with AI because I can do it without using it. So it's really marginal. Image creation, generation takes a lot more energy than just text generation, for instance. So maybe I'll avoid this.
So that's a deliberate choice.
It's a deliberate choice. Yeah, it's really marginal, but if I don't need it, why use it? So it's really about necessity over just doing it for doing it.
Mm-hmm. And how far do you think AI will go? And agents and all that stuff that, of course, is now...
as far as we want it to go. That's my opinion. It's really a difficult opinion because I'm not the one in control of how far AI is going to go. I think it has a lot of potential to...
Who is, in fact? That's the question.
It's really hard to know. A lot of potential in automating tasks. And I really hope that it enables to automate tasks that are less value-adding. And I really hope it doesn't replace the tasks that are value-adding to a company, that are value-adding to a society as well, because that's what makes us human. That's what also brings purpose for me to work, is when I come and I actually do some value-adding work. So if AI does this work for me, then what's my point of actually coming to work? So I hope that at one moment we're going to be able to say, okay, we can do more, but I think that's enough for now. And I think the wheel is just spinning, and it's going to be hard to stop. So that's my controversial opinion, maybe.
Yeah, but imagine that you were in my shoes or in the shoes of people watching or listening and who have a leadership type of role, impacting also others. What would you do? What would you maybe do? The one or two things that you would do differently? That you're saying, focus on that instead of that.
It's really, really hard because I can understand there's a pressure to keep on innovating. There's a pressure to stay relevant in this AI world. So we cannot ignore it. And we need to stay updated. We need to upskill our workforce as well. But at the forefront, I would say, let's keep being humans and let's keep having value on these human interactions. Let's teach people to be critical. Let's teach people to use AI in the right way, in the way that makes them confident in their work, makes them confident when they're at the client's place. And I think this is more about upskilling and teaching us to use AI the right way and not be too dependent so that we lose a bit the purpose at work.
Top of your mind, don't think too much about the answers, I would say, and see how far we go. When you're looking at in the morning, the first app that you open, what is the first app that you open, AI related?
Social media, so Instagram, Strava.
People don't think it's AI.
No,
everything is steered. Yeah, right. Chat or voice, and why?
I think chat currently, but voice in the future. I believe a lot of my generation are even talking through voice messages. I'm better at calling someone than chatting.
That's good.
So I hope, maybe I don't know if I hope, I think we're going to go into voice in the future.
Okay. If there's one thing that you're doing with AI that you think, okay, it's a bit cheating, honestly, what is it?
Translating.
Why is it cheating?
I don't know the language, and there's able to translate almost perfectly a text from a language to another. I think that's really cheating.
Yeah, and that's then even the text. If you then also have images with that, that's a completely different ballgame, which of course then triggers the debate, which is a completely different debate on what is real and what is not real. I think you're right.
That's another conversation.
Yeah. If there's one thing that you are refusing to automate, what would it be?
My time. I don't want AI to control my time. I want to stay in control of what I do and what I want to do.
Okay, that's deep. That's good. What's the thing related to AI which is most overhyped?
I think, image generation and video generation is really hyped. And I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of consuming the content on social media of AI generated content.
Mhm.
I don't want a podcast to be with two robots talking.
Mhm.
So yeah, I go on social media to see people. I go to movies to see actors. I don't go to see AI actors.
Okay. And what's most underrated with respect to AI?
Maybe agents. I
Okay.
think it's quite underrated in how we can automate certain workflows
Mhm.
in our daily lives.
Mhm. Mhm. I think you already alluded to that, about the one analog thing that you would never, ever digitize, automate, or make it with AI.
Yeah, human connections.
That's what I thought you would say. Again, fast forward 27, where do you think AI will be?
Everywhere, almost everywhere. But I think really the main goal would be upskilling. We need to upskill everyone and take everyone on the wave, so that we can all be together on this project, and we can all see the positives and the negatives in 2027 as well.
Okay, thanks. And that basically wraps up this session. I hope you were interested, and it was food for thought in a number of areas. At least I learned again a lot. And as I said in the beginning, this is the starting point of season 2 of AI Unscripted. The next episodes, we're going to talk to a number of CEOs to see what they feel. So thanks for joining. Looking forward to the next ones. And indeed, continue to follow AI Unscripted.